They say the world ends not with darkness but with dust. And tonight, you are standing inside a storm made of both. It begins on the fringes of the Roman world, a place you once believed safe, civilized, insulated by the weight of an empire. You're a soldier on night watch along the Danube, expecting only the usual things: the hiss of river reeds, the creak of wooden towers, the snoring of exhausted comrades. Nothing more. But then the earth stirs. First it's faint, a tremor so light you think it's the wind shifting the planks beneath your feet. Then it deepens, a steady thud, a pulse. The ground shivers again, harder, and this time your breath catches. Your fingers tighten around your spear. A horse screams somewhere in the dark. And then you hear it, the sound that has haunted rumors for years, a sound you prayed you'd never experience yourself. It begins like thunder trapped beneath the soil, then swells into a roar so massive it drowns out the night. A dust wall rises on the horizon, swallowing moonlight, turning the world into a churning mass of shadows. Shapes move inside it, fast, relentless, unstoppable. You whisper, "What is that?" No answer comes, because now you see them. Countless silhouettes, riders, bows raised, hoofs pounding in perfect, terrifying rhythm. You've heard stories around fires, stories dismissed as exaggerations. They drink the blood of their horses. They never wash. They ride as if their bones are fused to the saddle. They fear nothing, not even death. But legends never told you how it feels to face them. You expect a messenger, a warning horn, anything that fits the logic of war as Rome taught it. But nothing comes. Instead, the riders emerge from the dust, eyes glinting, armor rattling like death's own chains. And at their center, atop a dark horse that seems carved from night itself, you see a figure who does not move, does not flinch, does not even seem human in the shifting haze. His warriors chant his name in a rhythm that shakes the sky. Attila, Attila, Attila. Your heartbeat falters. Your grip loosens. The wooden walls around you suddenly feel like paper. Every soldier you thought strong now trembles like a child waking from a nightmare. The riders accelerate. No negotiations. No warnings. No mercy. They crash upon the fortress like a living tidal wave. Torches are snuffed by the wind of their charge. Arrows rain from above. Screams slice through the air. The first man to fall doesn't even understand he's dead. And as the gate shatters apart, as the riders pour through, as the dust devours everything you once believed in, the truth slams into your chest like a hammer. This is not a raid. This is not a battle. This is a reckoning. When the fires burn out, when the moon returns, when the dust finally settles, Rome will know what you are learning now. Nothing can stop him, because this story, contrary to the legends, is not about insanity or chaos or monstrous savagery. It is about calculation, strategy, cold, deliberate genius. Attila the Hun was not a madman frothing at the mouth, nor a brute thrashing blindly toward destruction. He was something far more dangerous, a man who understood fear, a man who understood people, a man who recognized that power is not taken with strength, but with inevitability, the feeling that resistance is pointless, survival impossible, the future already written. The Romans called him the Scourge of God, but the truth is far worse. Attila was a mirror held up to a dying empire, reflecting its arrogance, its corruption, its decay. He didn't break Rome because he was unstoppable. He broke Rome because Rome was already cracking. But the storm you witnessed, that wall of riders, that scream of terror, that force ripping through stone and bone alike, began long before Attila ever raised a sword. It began with a boy, a hostage, a child traded like a bargaining chip between empires. You can almost see him now, a young Hun in Roman halls, surrounded by marble columns and sneering senators, absorbing every insult, every sideways glance, every quiet reminder that he was less in the eyes of civilization. He learned Latin. He observed politics. He memorized weaknesses. And in the silence of his humiliation, something inside him hardened. Respect, he realized, is not granted. It is taken. When he returned to his people, a land of frostbitten plains, wild horses, and brutal winters, he no longer saw them as the Romans described them. He saw a force Rome feared yet refused to acknowledge. Then came the loss of his father, the fracturing of the tribes, the whispers that his brother Bleda should rule. This was the pressure, the tension, the crack slowly spreading through the surface of a man who would one day shatter the world. And the moment he broke came quietly. Two brothers riding out alone. A hunt, a conversation, a return of only one. Attila understood a primal truth of the steppe. Divided tribes die. United tribes conquer. And unity demanded a price only he was willing to pay. When he rode back into camp alone, no one questioned him. Some feared him. Some admired him. All understood that something irreversible had happened. He was no longer a boy shaped by humiliation. He was now a ruler shaped by purpose. From that moment, every step Attila took was precise, sharpened, deliberate. His first cruelty was not loud, it was quiet. Rivals disappeared. Dissent dissolved into silence. By dawn, no voices remained but his. His first political maneuver was brilliant. Instead of attacking Rome, he demanded gold, tribute, acknowledgement. Rome paid, not because they respected him, but because they feared what would happen if they didn't. His first message to the world was chilling. He returned a Roman envoy mutilated but alive. A gift, a warning, proof that he could reach into the heart of an empire and leave scars that would never heal. His first victory was not on a battlefield. It was unifying every fractious Hun tribe under one banner. What countless leaders failed to do, he accomplished through charisma, intimidation, and sheer inevitability. And as his power grew, so did his mastery of fear. Attila's warfare was unlike anything the world had seen. His cavalry moved like water, fluid and formless, bending, spiraling, spreading, surrounding. His archers fired in dark unison until the sky seemed to bleed. His army struck not with brute force but with perfect timing, collapsing cities with psychological dread long before steel touched flesh. The Huns did not conquer land. They conquered imagination. People surrendered the moment his name was whispered. Entire towns fled in panic before a single rider appeared. In some places, his image was drawn on walls like a demon meant to scare children. But it was the adults who trembled the most. Rome believed it could contain him with treaties and gold, failing to understand that each payment was not peace, but permission. Attila watched the empire rot from within. Weak emperors, corrupt politicians, infighting generals, wealth hoarded while borders crumbled. He saw what the Romans could not see. The empire was swollen with arrogance and hollow at its core. So he moved, through Gaul, through Pannonia, through the beating heart of Europe. Cities that had stood for centuries fell in days. Maps changed overnight. The ground itself seemed to shift beneath the world's feet. The unstoppable enemy had arrived. And the moment you first witnessed, the dust storm swallowing your outpost, was not an accident. It was a statement, a reminder, a declaration of what was coming. The true climax unfolded on the Catalonian plains, where an alliance so vast it should have crushed him gathered to end the terror once and for all. But Attila did not break. Even surrounded, even outnumbered, he fought with the ferocity of a man who believed destiny answered to him alone. And when the battle ended, the world understood. If Attila had wanted Rome to burn that day, Rome would have burned. His power peaked. His name became a curse. His shadow stretched across continents. But greatness is a double-edged sword. Fear, the weapon he wielded so masterfully, turned inward. Paranoia infected him. Allies grew guarded. Generals grew resentful. The empire he built with iron will begin to strain under its own weight. In the twilight of his reign, violent rages consumed him. He trusted no one, loved no one, slept surrounded by weapons. And every night, the same fear echoed in his skull. Who will betray me the way I betrayed my brother? Then, in a moment so human it shattered the mythology, Attila died. Not in battle, not by assassination, but on the night of his wedding, felled by a burst blood vessel. The man who inspired terror across the world, taken by his own body. The earth did not shake. The sky did not darken. The wind did not whisper his name. The storm simply ended, but its echo remains. The true horror of Attila is not what he did. It is what his rise revealed about the world. Empires fall not when an enemy is strong, but when a system is weak. Civilizations collapse not from invasion, but from complacency. Rome did not break because Attila was a monster. Rome broke because it had forgotten what real threat looked like. Attila was the flame, Rome was the tinder, and the fire they created still burns through history, because every era believes its power will last forever. Every empire thinks itself invincible. Every nation imagines its order permanent, until a storm appears on the horizon, born from trauma, sharpened by humiliation, empowered by opportunity, and one person decides to test how strong the world truly is. Attila was no demon. He was no aberration. He was a warning, and whispers of that warning still ride on the wind today.